formula for success. It begins with Brian Jordan, leading the league in hitting. Mix in a little Mark McGwire and his bombs, an assault on all the Major League home run records. And every fifth day, at a splash of Todd Stottlemyre. Jordan, McGwire, Stottlemyre, that equals success. Fox Sports Midwest presents Cardinals Baseball, brought to you by Budweiser. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Southwestern Bell, go wireless with someone you know. By Pizza Hut on the Edge Pizza, great taste to the edge. By your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer, exclusive automotive dealer of the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. And by Southwest Airlines, with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest, the official airline of the Cardinals. It's the battling logos. It's interleague play. The ball goes up. Will it come down? It will. It's the Cardinals and the Twins in their domicile. Welcome to the Metrodome in the Twin Cities. For some of us, 11 years later, it's the Cardinals and the Minnesota Twins. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Ramsey, Al Roboski alongside, and here's our Southwest Airlines Cardinals starting lineup. Yes, the DH in, if you had not remembered, and that DH is Ray Langford tonight. Brian Hunter in right field, and that's John Mabry in left, Ordaz back at shortstop, and they'll face this young left-hander, Eric Milton. Al Roboski.
Well, a very talented young left-hander. He's only 22 years of age. He was the #1 draft pick in '96 by the Yankees, and he is the principal in the trade that brought Milton to the Twin Cities and sent Chuck Knobloch to New York. He's very talented. He was a late signer in '96, so this really started in A-ball in '97, and he was quite a find.
Strike two into the line of the Shields, hitting .322, Al. That's a point higher than folks may have expected. They changed a scoring rule last night. The ball he sent back through the wickets of Swindell was ruled a hit. Afterwards, that's fouled off. So Delano got the benefit of a scoring change.
Got the benefit, just having a tremendous season, both facing left and right-handed pitchers, batting .317 against the Southpaws. And Milton very aggressive as advertised.
Change-up misses. Talk about a little more. Well, first we'll talk about the umpires, and there you see him. Jim McKean behind the plate. Clark, Joyce, and Kraft, first, second, and third. The AL umps. That misses outside. Milton's a young man, 22 years old, and the word on him coming into the season was get that breaking ball in control. He's got the stuff, and kind of force-fed into the big leagues as that's fouled off for the Shields to stay alive, but he's doing an adequate job for the Twins, or better.
I was talking to Bob Tewksbury, and he defeated the Astros, so that tells you a little bit of how well he can pitch. Only 2 hits allowed in 6 2/3 innings. But Tewksbury said the bullpen has blown about 3 of his victories.
Looper into left center field. On the move and making the catch, Marty Cardova, 1 away.
For what the Twins, you know, they brought him to spring training, and he was extremely impressive, ended up winning the job.
Take a look at our Southwest Airlines Twins defense. That has changed. Cordova is now in left field, and it's Stachowiak at first base with Merced as the DH. Other than that, the others are the same. That was changed right before the game. Gary Gaetti stands in. Yes, Gary Gaetti hitting in the 2-hole. And with the changes in the lineup against the left-hander, Terry LaRussa said, well, there aren't many candidates to really hit at the top, and Gary Gaetti's got a .350 on-base percentage, so why not? Talked to Gary about it. He says he likes it. Gary said, I'm not driving in any runs anyway. And he said, if I get some fastballs in front of McGwire, look out. He was trying to drive one right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gaetti. Gary's hitting .257 with 7 homers and 27 RBIs. Did he hit him? skipped the rope just a bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Came down and in and almost got a board in front of McGwire. It's 2-2. To the left side, he went reaching for it. Long throw from the third baseman. Did he come up? Yes, he's out. Nice play over at first base. Stottlemyre did the splits and made the play. Take a look. Brent Gates getting the start at third. And look at the splits from Stottlemyre. He was only called up a week ago. He's in there at first base tonight, and it's already paid off for the Twins. Mark McGwire laughing a little bit, talking with his former teammate Terry Steinbach. They were both big on the A's for many years. There's ball 1 to Mark McGwire. Mark's sitting on 35 home runs, leading the major leagues in that category, as you know. And hitting .314 to go with it. Fouled off down the right side. Big crowd here. A couple of notes about the crowds. Averaging 13,000, 14,000 fans a game. Sold over 100,000 tickets for this weekend. So the Twins figure about 50,000 extra tickets thanks to number 25 on the Cardinals. 50,000 tickets now. I think the batting practice crowd here was the biggest we've seen.
When it started getting in that 15,000, 20,000 person range, it's just incredible.
15,000 to 20,000 in here for batting practice. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mark McGwire. Just missed his 36th home run last night. Pitch from Milton. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. I think he got him. Was that the changeup, Al?
Fastball.
Came with the heat up. He got him with the heat up. Cardinals and Twins in Minneapolis. Welcome back to Minnesota. Tom Kelly made a last-minute change in his Southwest Airlines starting lineup. He's got Otis Nixon in there leading off, and then it's Gates, Lawton, and Cordova, Merced, Steinbach, Walker, Mears, and Stottlemyre. And Otis Nixon will lead it off against Todd Stottlemyre, who has been nothing short of spectacular for the Cardinals this year.
Well, Todd Stottlemyre, just a real leader of this pitching staff, and really, when you think about it, he's the only healthy starter from the projected staff.
80% of the rotation on the DL.
But Matt Morris is projected to make a start on Tuesday at a rehab start, and by the weekend could be pitching in it would be in Cincinnati for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Nixon with the jaw guard on his helmet. And there's a called strike, 1-1.
Otis really having a fine career. Over 500 stolen bases. He's actually closer to 6th, third on the active players in stolen bases.
It's going to be a tough play on the high hop. Stottlemyre knew it, tried the spectacular barehanded play. That'll be an infield single for Nixon. He did the same thing last night. And he's a smart enough guy to play to his strengths.
Well, that's right. Whenever he hits the ball in the air, it's going to come down in somebody's glove, and it's going to be wearing the other uniform. Because he hit down on the ball, the high turf out, Stottlemyre just felt like he had to jump and try and throw all in one motion. And now he is a threat to steal.
Take a look at the Cardinals Southwest Airlines starting defense. John Mabry in left and Hunter in right. Normally you might see that flip-flop. Tony La Russa said left field's a much tougher field to defend in this particular ballpark. And that's why he's got John Mabry in left field tonight. As Brent Gates stands in, hitting .219. But he hits much better from the left side, Al.
Yeah, and it's actually, he's a .246 hitter from the left side. Only 121 and limited to bats right-handed.
Fouled off.
But you bring up an excellent point here about the left field. Actually, so much deeper that it's one of the few ballparks you need a stronger arm in left field than you do in right.
Gates has a couple of homers. Otis Nixon on it first. He led off with the chopping infield single. He's stolen 16 bases, but he got punched out for the first couple of times last night. Tom Pagnozzi got him, and he's ready to throw again. Not going is Nixon. There's a called strike to Gates. This is a team that'll run. Straight steals, hit and run. Kelly doesn't like the bunt, but very aggressive on the base pass and pretty smart.
Well, they're a ball club that really doesn't have a lot of power, so they have to manufacture their runs.
Nixon not going. Swing and a miss. And he strikes him out. Todd Stottlemyre gets out number 1. Let's take a look at our Chrysler Plymouth key matchup for this evening. And there you go. Cardinals slowed Nixon down. He was 100%. So we'll keep an eye on that all night. Matt Lawton stands in. Had a home run last night, Al. This is a good young ball player in Lawton. Let's take another look at our batting order visually. Quick look at it. There you go. Cordova, Merced, Steinbach, Walker, Mears, and Stahoviak, who was the late minute change. Lawton had the home run last night. They like this kid. Got a lot of tools.
Well, he's got a little pop for a little man. He can swing the bat. Ways to pitch to him, and Stottlemyre's been pretty successful in 7 previous plate appearances. Matt is 0 for 7.
Nixon with 1 foot on the carpet. Not going. Bounces away from Tom Pagnozzi, and Nixon will go to second base and takes a big turn around the bag. Well, kind of hurts our key matchup look. I guess you got to give it Nixon the first notch tonight. He moves down on the wild pitch. Or will that be a pass ball? See how the scorer rules it. See what you think, Al.
I think it's going to be a wild pitch. Hit it off the plate, and so it's really has an unpredictable bounce there. There's our official scorer. Very friendly.
Tom Mee. Where do I know that name? I can't. Well, I guess it's because he's been in baseball for so many years. I guess it's Tom Mee Sr.
Tom Mee Sr., 31 years, the PR director for the Minnesota Twins, and I guess this is the 8th year for the official score.
First employee hired by the Twins. Tom Mee. I knew I heard that name before. Up the middle, Stottlemyre. Works him back. Nicely done by Todd Stottlemyre. He retires Lawton for the second out.
Great camera work. Noticed that last night. Nixon bouncing off of the pitch. Thought it was going to go up the middle, and when Stottlemyre grabbed it, looking back, he had to scramble back to second. You really cannot afford to throw that ball to second base because it was not a clear cut given out.
This is Marty Cordova. Maybe their best all-around player, the Minnesota Twins. We like this kid. He battled injuries last year, and some folks thought he regressed, but as we know, it's hard to perform when you're injured all season long, but he has bounced back nicely. Would like to hit for more power, but that'll come.
Terry Crowley, the hitting coach here. Terry really has worked hard. Tom Kelly has a long-time staff here and a lot of hard-working guys. Cordova, Rookie of the Year in '95, and another big season in '96. And then you mentioned the injuries last year. He's had some problems this year with a neck problem. And of course, Comer, their big third baseman, is out with also a neck problem. He's actually on the roster, but he hasn't been able to play because of a neck injury.
2 balls and a strike to Cordova. First base is open. Nixon certainly capable of stealing third in a situation where he thought it would help the club. Base hit scores him anyway. Called strike on the corner from Stottlemyre. Nice pitch.
and likes the ball out away from him. He hit the home run last night, and that's what he's done with runners in scoring position.
Swing and a miss. He went fishing and came up empty. Stottlemyre with his second strikeout of the inning, and we'll go to the second inning. Brian Jordan will lead it off for the Redbirds. No score. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Not a lot of action for one young Twins fan so far. Maybe we can change that form as Brian Jordan will lead it off against Milton. Top of the second inning, Jordan leading the league in hitting, the National League at a .351 pace. And he takes ball one. .14 homers, 51 RBIs for Jordan. Hung in there nicely, ball two.
Brian's getting one, he's been very patient, and two, he's one of the few Cardinal hitters that is not overmatched with two strikes.
Swing and a miss.
Milton last year was the Yankees minor league pitcher of the year. And a little better than a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
3-1.
Pretty much throws fastball, straight change, and then he has a real slow curveball.
Fly ball, center field. Otis Nixon goes back, has a beat on it. About 390 feet away, he makes the catch. On Sunday on Fox Sports Midwest, it's Formula One racing. Schumacher's back in stride with a win in Montreal. But Hakkinen and the McLarens will be looking to get back in the winner's circle. You knew that. They're trying to reestablish their dominance. You knew that. The French Grand Prix tomorrow, 2 o'clock on Fox Sports Midwest. The Grand Prix outside today. And look at the great camera work here in the dome. Nicely done. That was the ball dropping into Nixon's glove off of Brian Jordan. Swing, Eric Jernell. Way to go, Eric. You should be on the PGA Tour. Nicely done. Langford fouls it back. Gray hitting .269, 11 homers, 38 RBIs. You know, a lot of folks, not a lot of folks, when people say, well, Langford, his numbers aren't what they were last year and all that, but if you look, he's having an average Ray Langford year. Maybe a few less steals, but he's going to end up with 20-plus homers at this rate. Now, that's not to say he won't get really hot in the second half, but his numbers are going to project to be Ray Langford numbers.
Had the home run last night, all the Cardinals offense.
Little looper into center field. Nixon has to charge in. Got a good jump and made the play. Otis Nixon retires the first two Cardinals here in the second. Nice play by Nixon.
He'll come running in and slides, which actually slows your forward progress.
Nixon's always been one. He's always had the biggest glove he could find and wear it right down on his fingertips. Give you all that bushel basket extra room out there as Tom Pagnozzi stands in. Ball one. Pags up in the sixth slot against the left-hander. Numbers don't show it very much, Al, but Pags has held his own at the plate in the last few weeks.
They really have, and he's one that has gotten healthy facing left-handers. Almost a 300 average facing left-handed pitching, and just slightly under 200 against right-handers. But he's been contributing quite a bit offensively.
Called strike. 2-1. And he had a night with his arm last night. Brought Nixon a couple of times. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Swing and a miss there. He was trying to put the Cardinals on top. It's 2-2. Hey, ring him up to end the inning. strikeout number 2 for Milton. And we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. Appearing on Cardinal Baseball, receive a gift certificate to Krieger's Pub and Grill, St. Louis's neighborhood bar and grill. Visit any one of their 5. No wait. Now wait, a 6th location coming your way in historic St. Charles. It's Monday, July 6th, I believe. 6 locations. Tony La Russa sends Todd Stottlemyre back out, but the offense has stagnated a little bit the last couple of days. Cardinals got to get some runs on the board. Orlando Merced, the former National Leaguer, leads it off here in the bottom of the second inning, and he takes one inside, ball 1. Merced having a Merced year, 278, 4 homers, 26 RBIs.
He was with Toronto last year, signed with the Twins as a free agent, had shoulder surgery that ended his season prematurely, and Orlando, we knew, was just a good, solid hitter, but he's had good success against Stottlemyre, 4 for 9 and a pair of home runs.
1 ball and 1 strike. He stuck the bat out and loops it into center field. Base hit. It's funny how guys just see certain guys so well. He just stuck the bat out and let Stottlemyre's effort.
Well, when these two were matched up, Stottlemyre had a little more problems with left-handed batters. But he's a good hitter, and he's a guy that it was a little surprising when I saw the 2 home runs against Stottlemyre. I wasn't so surprised with the high average. But how he hit that one was more indicative of the type of hitter he is.
Terry Steinbach stands in, 247, 4 homers, 15 RBIs. To the left side, there's foul. Steinbach came over to the Twins before last season after he had what will probably end up being his career year, but the Twins are nonetheless happy to have him here. He's a real leader, solidifies the pitching staff with his leadership behind the plate. They really like him.
Well, I think it also says something that someone comes home and wanted to be at home. For a long career out on the West Coast, that said, I want to see my kids grow up in our house.
Yeah. 1 ball and a strike to Steinbach.
And remember, the Cardinals actually offered a much more lucrative contract to Steinbach, and he turned it down to play for the Twins. Really struggling this year offensively, particularly with runners in scoring position.
Orlando Merced over at first base. He's stolen 1 base this year. It's like Pags and Stottlemyre trying to get their signal straight.
A little curiosity with the exchange right here. And I'm sure Pags is telling Steinbach, well, you know.
Steinbach says, I know.
Yeah, go on.
Hang in there, Pags.
Hey, I worked with him for a year, you know. But, I mean, it's very unusual because these two really are always on the same page.
Yeah. 1-1 right now. Stottlemyre steps off. Now we're looking over the other way.
And now
somebody's
Pags.
mouthing off to Pags. Tom Pagnozzi doesn't like it. Yeah.
Well, this is one of
Pags walked over and said, you feel froggy? Jump.
Well, it's just one of those rare situations. It's very unusual that Stottlemyre and Pagnozzi don't see eye to eye, and yet Stottlemyre, as I normally say, you know, a pitcher gets the W or the L. There's Jim McKean. He's the crew chief.
You don't often see players reacting to being bench jockeyed from the other way. Somebody must have said something to Pags that either got to him or they were talking about Stottlemyre and Pags is defending him. You don't see reaction very often.
Well, I think it was something about, you know, hey, put a finger down. You know, let's go. And that's not exactly what catcher takes a lot of pride in, and is an excellent game caller, what he wants to hear.
Swing and a miss. Nice pitch. How about Pags?
Whatever it is, we need something to fire us up.
No
Maybe
question.
That's it.
Absolutely. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside swing and a miss. Hayes struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Stottlemyre. Let's take a look at our Casino Queen leaderboard. Todd Stottlemyre, 114, up to date. He keeps ringing them up. Tom Pagnozzi firing things up a little bit. Like to see that. You don't want to see a team get complacent and things aren't hitting, and that's something that can easily happen to a ball club. Everybody's kind of down a little bit.
When you're not hitting, it's hard to look like you're alive. And obviously we know people really care and they're working hard at doing some things. And so if someone's going to provide a little fuel to the fire, so be it.
You bet.
And Pags is looking into our dugout, not theirs.
Maybe he's mad at our dugout too. No, just kidding. Fouled off down the left side. This is Todd Walker, the fine young second baseman, who is really coming into his own this year, as you can see by the numbers.
Well, you touched on it. You said fine young second baseman, because with Chuck Knobloch here, they moved him from his natural position, second to third. He was supposed to be a Rookie of the Year candidate, found himself back in the minor leagues, but now back at second, he's become a real offensive star again.
Off-speed pitch catches him looking, 1-2.
Doesn't have the defensive skills that a Chuck Knobloch, but offensively, you know, that 342 average is really helping out.
8 stolen bases, some home runs. Swing and a miss. How about that? Stottlemyre came right after Walker. That's his 4th strikeout.
His breaking ball is outstanding right now. You know, that's one of the things that Dave Duncan, you see right on the corner. But Dave, you know, he knew he had that killer slider and everything, but now he's got a very effective curveball and changeup that he can throw and combat hitters.
This is Pat Mears, the shortstop. Made a very nice play with a couple of bounces on the carpet. Key spot in the game last night to throw out a runner. 257. Has a little pop in his bat.
He's hit a home run against Todd. He's 5 for 14 with a home run. He played high school baseball for a very good reason. His high school didn't have a team.
It's tough.
But he played all the other sports, and then he was on a recommendation of a friend of Gene Stevenson at Wichita State. He was invited to play there, and he was a real key to some of their success.
Did not go around. 2 balls and a strike to Pat Mears. Bags looking over into the Twins dugout again there between pitches. Now that's the Cardinal dugout on his right. Stottlemyre looks back at Orlando Merced over at first base. He led off the bottom of the second with a base hit to center field.
And we might talk about it, since there was a little to do. When he's looking over in the Cardinal dugout, that's usually a step-off sign or a pick-off.
Fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd enjoying that. Apparently went into the press box beneath our broadcast area. Probably some local favorite, if not our own.
Who in the press box would be able to catch it?
Well, maybe it hit a guy. That's why the crowd was cheering. It might have taken a rider out. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pat Mears. The pitch. Way outside, but he almost went fishing. The count goes full.
The first time tonight, Todd has dropped down from the side, show a different angle.
Here's the payoff pitch. Runner going. Popped it up. Shallow center field. DeShields is there. Here comes Jordan. He calls him off the way a center fielder's supposed to and makes the play. A little scary for a moment, but the center fielder took charge. Your Hall of Famer, Paul Molitor, St. Paul boy, if I'm not mistaken. Hey kids, on Saturday, July 18th, the Cardinals take on the Dodgers. It's Ice Mountain Team Poster Day at the ballpark. Fans 15 under with a paid admission will receive a Cardinals team poster, courtesy of Ice Mountain Spring Water. This Saturday, July 18th, it's the Cardinals and the Dodgers.
Oh, what a shame our Cardinal fans back home don't get to see Paul Molitor in this series.
Yeah.
On the disabled list with a broken rib.
Brian Hunter will lead it off against Eric Milton. Big slow off-speed pitch, ball one. There's Paul Molitor.
Already over 3,000 hits. Just a
well hit but foul. 1-1.
A tremendous player. Started with Milwaukee and then finds himself back home here. He was a Golden Gopher. And he was a roommate of Tom Mee Jr. Obviously.
Swing and a miss, strike two.
Obviously, whenever Tom Mee started talking about hitting, he'd put in the earplugs.
Put in the headphones. Yeah, it didn't rub off on our director somehow. That's a sad story. Fouled back, it's 1-2. Suppose you'd say Tom Mee is the Paul Molitor of directors.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, you would. I was just throwing that out as a question, actually. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Talking about Blister?
Fouled back, and Hunter stays alive.
Actually, I think Tom Mee belongs in the same hall with me, the Hall of Shame. Trying to come the fastball in.
Fly ball, left field down the line, curving foul and out of play.
Had a little more foul territory here than some of the ballparks that we're seeing, the newer versions. What you like about Milton is he's not afraid to attack hitters and come inside on them, pitching both sides of the plate. The young man has pretty good command and his changeup away.
Hunter, big free swinger, fouls off another one, hanging in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hunter, Mabry, and Ordaz due up this inning.
Fastball away.
Fly ball, left center field. Way back to the track. Nixon to the wall. Gone. Brian Hunter put it out. We had to wait to see if Otis Nixon came down, and if he had the ball with him. Brian Hunter puts it out of the ballpark, and the Cardinals take the lead. Hunter with his 4th home run of the year.
Otis Nixon had a tremendous run. Ball up, out, away from him. Not where he wanted. The 12th home run allowed by Milton. Now look at the leap and grab. I believe that ball hit off his glove and then fell as he crashed into the wall. It did.
I think you're right, Al. We had to wait to see if Nixon had the ball, and he just missed it. What a great effort from the veteran Otis Nixon. But it's a home run for the Redbirds, and Todd Stottlemyre and the Cardinals have won a lead. Take another look.
Yeah, watch it. Gets in the glove, but then he hits the wall hard, and it probably when he made impact with the wall, the ball just bounced out.
John Mabry stands in, swing and a miss through the curveball.
Let's take a look from this angle. Watch when he goes up, the ball is there in the glove, and you can't really see it go into the glove, but you can see it come out of the glove.
What a great effort by Otis Nixon.
Kirby would have made, well,
could he have jumped up that high? He's a heck of an athlete.
Yep, he could have.
Heck of an athlete.
But you know what made it more difficult is that's kind of like the deepest part of the field over there in that left center corner. And Brian Hunter picks up his 4th home run, his 12th RBI, but you know it's good and bad. The bad part is the only way the Cardinals have shown any ability to score runs lately is via the home run, all solo shots. They're not manufacturing anything.
Not getting on base, creating bigger innings. Swing and a miss. Milton strikes out Mabry, so he comes right back after the leadoff homer for strikeout number 3. He lost the no-hitter in the shutout in one swing of the bat from Brian Hunter, but he came right back and got Mabry. Luis Ordaz will stand in. Luis hitting at .091 right now. I don't know if you got to see last night, Al. I like the way Ordaz handles himself around second base. Doesn't give the bag to the runner all the time. Plays hard-nosed down there.
Out of adversity, you always try and find something positive. And the positive thing to the injury to Royce Clayton is you get a chance to see Ordaz for extended period of time.
One more look at Otis Nixon. Here's the back of his head. And the front. And the look at that almost catch of Hunter.
He hit that wall just about the same time the ball hit in his glove, and then ejected.
He had to check himself to see if it was in there. With 2 away, Delino to Shields. Takes strike 1. Delino fly to left field his first time.
My real first clue was when I saw the fans dive for the ball.
Off the bat, then off the helmet of Steinbach. And DeShields is in the hole 0-2. Cardinals on top 1-0. Brian Hunter hits one out. His 4th of the year. To the right side. Second baseman Walker is there, and he throws him out. But not before the Cardinals score a run on the solo homer from Brian Hunter. He put it deep and out of the ballpark. Todd Stottlemyre and the Cardinals lead it 1-0. First pitch swinging, Scott Stahoviak, a late-minute insert into the Twins lineup, takes that first pitch from Todd Stottlemyre and puts it into left center field for a base hit. So manager Kelly pushed the right button right there.
That was first hit of the season. He hits it hard.
Yeah.
This guy has always been and projected to be a real power hitter. He really has not come through. He had some injuries, so he's getting another chance. Not only Molitor, but Ortiz.
Who's a young guy they like.
Yeah.
Stoviak's on, and it's a leadoff single for the 3rd straight inning. This is Otis Nixon. He had a leadoff infield single to start the bottom of the 1st for the Twins, and Stottlemyre falls behind 1 ball and no strikes. Stahoviak is now 1 for 10 on the season.
Otis getting to be quite the entrepreneur. A Marriott hotel franchisee.
Runner is going, fouled off by Nixon.
Okay, how about that? Marriott hotel franchisees and also owns a high-tech electronics store, Ozone Custom Installation in Alpharetta, Georgia. He's the president and founder of the Strikeout Foundation, a nonprofit group developed to educate school-age children of the dangers of drug abuse. And really is a solid citizen.
Well, all that wealth must be on paper, because I saw him at the cash machine coming over to the ballpark.
He's on a budget.
That's right, he's on a budget. 2 balls and a strike to Otis, my man.
And once again, we might talk about he broke his jaw earlier where he was kicked in the face. Manny Martinez of Kansas City. Everyone kind of suspected a little bit at that time. They accepted with apologies. And then Martinez was a real combatant in a recent fight between the Royals and the Angels. And at that point, he was, before he even got fined by the league, the Royals sent him down to the minor leagues. They said, yeah, you got to work on being a big leaguer, handling your situation a little better.
3-1 now to Nixon. Tried to take it the other way. 3-2. Nixon's average stands at 266.
Switch hitter, and you know, when everything's said and done, he's going to be around that average, both left and right-handed.
Stahoviak on it first, big lead, he's running. Line drive, Gary Gaetti. What a catch. Easy double play. 2 nights in a row, Gaetti shines at third base. He turned a fantastic double play last night, and he robs Nixon of extra bases in what probably would have been a run for the Twins.
The ball gets by him. He's going to be, you know, Nixon's going to, with his speed, he's going to be flying down the line. As pretty play. You know, you don't expect that ball to be coming at that angle.
This is Brent Gates in the dirt bag, scoops it up. 2 down now. Gates was a strikeout victim. He's 0 for 1. Averaged 217. Popped it up. Shallow right field. Brian Hunter calls it and makes the catch. 3 down. And Cardinals lead it 1-0, and they'll come to bat in the 4th. It's Todd Stottlemyre. He's happy with Gary as well. Probably saved a run with that backhanded catch of the line drive, and he rips one into the corner. It's a fair ball right on the line. And the former Minnesota hero steams into second base with a stand-up double. And the crowd gives him an ovation.
Well, there's a lot of Twins fans here that remember the glory days and how big a part Gary Gaetti was. Got an off-speed breaking ball, and he's looking breaking ball. He catches it. Hits it right on the line, and then the fan does not interfere, so we catch 2 breaks. That would have been a double anyway, but nice to see Gary out there. And now with McGwire up. Young man challenged him the first time. Will he do it again with the base open?
He struck out McGwire in the first. Gaetti with the lead, and here's the pitch to Mark. Fly ball, very deep, left field, way back. Cordova is at the track, makes the catch. It is the deep part of the ballpark. Gaetti tags up and moves to third. We told you how deep it was in left field. Very unusual in modern baseball ballparks, and it paid off for the Cardinals.
Well, we're all fans of what McGwire is doing right now. Look at how high this towering fly ball. Good thing was Gaetti says it's either going to be a home run or it's going to be caught, and I'm going to tag up. McGwire, I think, will say, I knew I missed it, got underneath it a little bit. See by that, the disgusted look. But Gaetti on the long fly ball tagged up and got to third for Bryant.
Let's see if Jordan can make him pay. Fly ball. That is trouble down the line. Foul ground, and Stahoviak makes the catch. And that's a tough break, and Jordan knows it. Brian Jordan was very upset with himself as he left. That's the second out. He puts that in play. In most cases, it scores the run. That's what you were talking about before, the Cardinals not scoring runs.
Right. Nice play by the first baseman, and he threw a seed to the plate. What I thought was a little bit unusual and proper. Steinbach, the catcher, had to tell Jordan, get out of the way because there could be a play. Brian was kind of standing around just frustrated and mad at himself. But he was standing right in line with that throw.
Now Ray Lankford to pick up Jordan, and that's what it takes when you're scoring runs with 2 outs. When the Cardinals were red hot in April, that's what was happening. They had a nice hot streak and were getting the 2-out hits a week or so ago. Milton gets ahead of Lankford. Big breaking ball misses, 1-1.
That was the pitch you were talking about. Very inconsistent with the breaking ball. Delino got himself out by trying to pull one. You know, Milton came in with an ERA of 5 and a little bit deceiving.
as that one misses. His last 2 starts, he's gone 12 2/3 innings and only given up 3 earned runs. He had a real bad stretch between May 10th and June 1st. 5 bad starts in a row. But other than that, he's been pretty good. 3-1 now to Langford.
Doing a lot of breaking balls and changeups to run.
Langford flied to center field his first time. 3-1 pitch. He walks Langford. A 2-out walk makes it 1st and 3rd. And Tom Pagnozzi will have a chance. Stir up the ire of the Minnesota Twins again with a little base hit here. That would be nice.
You never know. He might throw that little changeup out of weight to Pags, and he'll take it out to right center. Be a fastball away.
Will Langford want to do some 2-out running? Little fly ball to right center field. Had the right idea, just missed. There's the catch for the 3rd out. So the Cardinals get their leadoff man on, but couldn't get him across. Cardinals on top, 1-0. Cardinal fans, this break in the action is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the 3-4-5 hitters for the Twins. Lawton, Cordova, and Merced. Lawton hit a hot one back to Stottlemyre in the 1st inning that Todd handled very nicely. Well hit into right field. Hunter got a nice jump, and then he dropped the ball. He made a nice play on it, then he got there and dropped the ball. Well, Brian giveth, and then that run scores, taketh away.
Right there, you know, he did the toughest part with a good jump. He got to it, and then a line drive right here. Now Lawton sees the ball right in front of him, so he eases up, and then he saw the dropped ball. He wouldn't have got to second anyway, but he assumed that was going to be caught, and we all assumed it was going to be caught.
Sure did.
Now this roof can be a little bit tough to pick up the ball, but really more on a fly ball than a line drive.
Now the cleanup hitter, Marty Cordova, with a man aboard. Boy, Lawton bouncing around down there at second base. He's stolen at first base, excuse me, bouncing around over there, and he's stolen 7 bases on the year. It's 1-0 pitch. Hard hit. Ordaz. He dropped it. Out at second base. The Cardinals are very fortunate on that call. Ordaz dropped it. Was able to stay with the ball, gave a little dribble, and threw him out at second base, but the Cardinals are very fortunate to get the one out.
Oh, actually, they should have no one on base. There was a perfect double play in the situation. Cordova doesn't run that well, and so, I mean, would have got it. But at least he had the presence of mind to stay with it, and he does fire a strike. And Delano's sitting there waiting for it. They didn't nip him. You still have Cordova on base, where Stottlemyre should have 2. You already have 3 outs.
Too close for comfort. Popped it up. Into the outfield. Ordaz goes out, and he'll make the catch. That's the second out. Hey, folks, Fox Sports Midwest is going deep, taking you past the headlines and inside the biggest stories for an insight you just can't find anywhere else. Who would we need? Who could we get to host that show? I'm not... Hey, Joe Buck, going deep, Sunday at 9 on Fox Sports Midwest. Ordaz showed good range going out to get that pop-up. 2 down now with a runner on at first. That's Cordova. Steinbach stands in. Steinbach struck out his first time. Marty Cordova has only stolen one base this year. Decent speed. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss on a beautiful pitch, 0-2. Nice slider on the corner.
All right, starts right on the outside part of the plate, breaks down and away off the plate. Can't hit that unless you dive right across the plate, and then every now and then you'll throw one inside to keep him honest.
See what they have in store.
Slider.
Tried to get him going after it again. 1-2. See what Pags
Fastball in to keep him honest.
and Stott have in store. That misses down and in. 2-2.
And it missed off the plate where you can't be hurt by it. A lot of young pitchers will throw the ball in an effort to get it inside and then leave it on the middle half, and that's when you get crushed. But that was just to keep him from honest, to go back away. Slider away. And let's step off right there. 3 pumps.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Now the slider away.
Here's the pitch. Missed a little low. And it's a full count to Steinbach.
Didn't want the slider, didn't want fastball in, fastball away.
Runner moving, swing and a miss. Hey, struck him out. 5th strikeout for Todd Stottlemyre. The runner is stranded at first. He pitches around the air on the leadoff hitter. And as we go to the 5th inning, the Cardinals are on top, 1-0. Brian Hunter will lead it off. 0 Cardinals, top of the 5th. It's 1-0 thanks to the man standing in. Brian Hunter, his 4th home run of the year, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. High fly ball, left field. Can he do it again? To the wall. Cordova makes the catch. Al, I don't think that was going to get out, but it sure had extra bases written all over it. Marty Cordova goes over and makes a fine running catch.
I agree with you 100%. Seemed like it was going to go off the wall, and it would have gone off the wall if Marty Cordova ran a long way to his left and back, and right there in the power alley, jumps at the last second. When you're running after a ball like that, one, if you're the hitter, you don't like the end of it, but at the end of your long run is when you reach up. You don't reach up as you're running, because that'll pull you back and stop your forward progress.
John Mabry was a strikeout victim. He's 0 for 1. There's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to John. In the left field, base hit. Mabry takes the left-hander the other way. Nice hit for John Mabry. Hey, folks, tonight at 10 o'clock, it's Fox Sports News Prime Time. All the scores, all the stories, all the action. Your primetime team, 7 days a week. We are there. Fox Sports News Prime Time. That's tonight at 10. Mabry with a 1-out base hit, and Luis Ordaz stands in. We'll see how Tony La Russa wants to play it. Ordaz struggling. High, ball 1. Ordaz flied to right his first shot. To the left side, could be two. Second for one on the first, safe as Mabry went in hard. Walker came across the bag and had to make a tough throw, so Ordaz replaces Mabry on the base path, 2 away.
Wasn't really hit sharply or crisp, or where you'd say a perfect double play, but here it is there at second base. Walker is disrupted with Mabry coming in real hard at him. Look at real good hard baseball going right after him. And we're lucky he wasn't called out. Ordaz called out as Mabry had that late slide, and his momentum carried him right past the bag, and a lot of times an umpire will call the second man out.
The Shields 0 for 2. Average at 320. We haven't seen Ordaz on the bases enough to know much about him as a base runner / base stealer. High chopper up the middle. Tough play. Mears gets there just before Luis Ordaz. And that ends the inning. No runs ahead, no errors. One left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Cardinals on top, 1-0. 5th inning, and here comes Todd Walker. The bottom 3 in the order due up against Stottlemyre. Walker's 0 for 1, a strikeout victim, and ball 1. Up high for a ball. Hey, one of the guys that's on the great crew here in Minnesota, Randy, on tape, wants to say hi to Brad and Paula Damagala of Frederick, Wisconsin. Who are they, you might ask, as a called strike. Cuts across the outside corner. Well, big fans apparently of Al Roboski and your broadcast, Al, and maybe more importantly, in fact, I'm going to say definitely more importantly, there's a ball. They're the proprietors of the Skull Bar in Frederick. So hello to Brad and Paula. I imagine the Skull Bar is not unlike Frank's in St. Peter's. Wouldn't you guess that?
I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned. Let me think of something. I'll tell you what, I've never been invited to Frank's, so I'm going to go to the Skull Bar.
Okay, you go to Skull. I know so many people at Frank's, I may just have to go in. And Walker draws the walk. Leadoff man reaches again. The leadoff man has reached every inning. That includes one error, however. But the leadoff man's been on every inning for the Twins.
First walk allowed by Stottlemyre. Cards have turned one double play thanks to a line drive off the bat, or into the glove of Gaetti. Maybe we can get another one right here.
Pat Mears 0 for 1. He flied out to center field. The shallow fly ball that 3 Cardinals converged upon, and Brian Jordan came streaking in and called everybody off like he's supposed to and made the play. Walker's on at first. He's stolen 8 bases, has some speed, and Tom Kelly will try and steal a base, manufacture some runs. We talked about that earlier. Doesn't bunt very much. Doesn't like to bunt, but he will get a running game going. There's the skipper. Scott Olger, the third base coach, relaying the signs. Walker checks him out. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mears. Walker with a big lead. So big that Todd says, wait a minute. Don't take any liberties over there. Ball on the strike to Mears. Walker not going. Pitch up high. 2-1.
Talk about the hit and run. Todd is a strikeout type pitcher, but a lot of times he's frequently throwing that slider off and his fastball in the outer half. So you create that nice hitting lane on the right side.
Runner going. Chop to the left side. Ordaz will throw to first. So they move the runner up. That's the first out of the inning. And let's check our Southwestern Bell trivia. Holds the Major League record for fewest career stolen bases. 2,400 or more games played.
I got the answer to this one. Very simply.
I'll say Harmon Killebrew.
Well, that's because you heard me give the answer.
No, I didn't. I knew it had to be something with the Twins.
There's the killer. He's one of the nicest men I've ever met. I saw him just a couple weeks ago at Bob Gibson's golf tournament up in Omaha.
Unbelievable power. One of the real, you go back and look at his numbers in the 60s. Unbelievable raw power. Maybe could have had more. He was in that weird bonus baby time where he sat for about 3 or 4 years.
Talking when
he came up.
You got X amount of money, you had to stay in the major leagues right after you signed,
whether you were ready to play or not. So I don't know how his career would have turned out. More numbers, but Killebrew was something else. Stahoviak. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. 3-0.
It's Herb Carneal, longtime broadcaster up here. Understand everyone would go crazy when he say 3-2. Here's the pitch to Killebrew, or something like that.
First year, I believe, was 1962. Worked with Halsey Hall back in those old days. They were quite a team. Fly ball center field. Brian Jordan makes the catch. Walker tags. Jordan dropped it. They'll record the out, I'm sure. Let's see. The runner staying over at first.
No,
they're going to say no catch, and here comes LaRussa.
I'll tell you what.
Here comes LaRussa.
The second base umpire is looking at the first base umpire. Now Tony's painting, and that's exactly. Al Clark is the second base umpire. He looked at Jim McEwen and said, the second base umpire is standing out there in the outfield, and he defers to the first base umpire who's standing at the first base line. And Tony's always going to say, look, it has to be a voluntary release. But he caught the ball, and then it appeared in exchange, which is a voluntary release. But why would the second base umpire say it's the first base umpire's call?
Let's take a look and see if we can see out the call.
It's not that it goes in the glove. It's got to be, you've got to reach in and take it out. Now, isn't he reaching in to throw the ball?
It came off the end of his fingers on the throw.
That's right. That is a terrible call if it stands a no catch.
He has it in his hands. He pulls it out and dropped it. That's awful.
If this stands as a no catch.
And if you take a look, folks, LaRussa is going crazy out at second base. He is red hot. Red hot.
Well, Brian Jordan's having his, but I mean, Al Clark, there's Jim McKeon, the crew chief, is the first base umpire. Al Clark is the second man out there. And I mean, if Tony LaRussa knows, when Tony first came to the big leagues in 1979, see, he's talking about
that's
voluntarily coming out.
Pulled it out.
You've got to reach in. You got to reach in. And if Al Clark says no, he didn't have control of it, or no, the ball popped out before it reaches in,
look,
that's just totally confidence.
Here's the deal with the umps. Don't try and con a baseball man like Tony LaRussa. Look him right in the eye and say, I blew it. Too bad. Well, that's the honorable way to go. Don't try and argue when you're dead wrong.
Now, the rule is you got to reach in and voluntarily pull it out. Now, is that a ball? Did he reach in and grab the ball? Yes.
Had his fingers around it, pulled it out, dropped it.
Saying no catch. Tony LaRussa, when he first came to the big leagues with the White Sox in '79, I thought he was at times was too emotional and got his ball club or hurt his ball club with arguing with the umpires. Now we have seen the last 3 years, he is so good at not taking anything away from his team and arguing with an umpire. And one of the reasons why is he's found out that these guys, particularly in the American League, will hold grudges and hurt you in the long run.
That is so weak.
Not that you catch the ball. It's a catch once you reach in to take a voluntary release. Now, he has definitely reached in and is ready to throw. He had a runner at second base. He's trying to make sure he could throw the guy or keep him from advancing, and Al Clark said there was no catch. A terrible, terrible call.
Now he's getting huffy about it. See, that's what ruins it. I don't care what sport it is. If a guy says, Tony, I blew it.
Well, I mean,
then you say, well, try harder. Maybe you get mad and stomp around, but hey, I blew it. But when you try and fabricate a story.
Well, the bottom line is, too, I mean, at first, when I saw it, he looked at the first base umpire like it's your call. And then I saw McGeehan go no catch. But, I mean, go and find out if the third base umpire, he had the best look. Did somebody else see it? Get the play right.
Weak.
Fly ball to center field. Runner at second base. Reaches in. Pulls the ball out. And in exchange.
Now, having said all that, Jordan was the one who dropped the ball. Now you got...
Yeah, but I mean...
Well, you still have a runner at third.
Yeah, but you got the runner at first now because they said it was no catch.
But I'm saying, you don't drop the ball, you don't have a problem. That's all I'm saying.
But still, you know, it's a catch.
I'm not defending the ump. I'm just saying you'd still have a little bit of a jam here. The Cardinals already have a wild pitch and now 2 errors. And that would have been an error either way, but now it's a double error with the runner at third and the runner at first, and only 1 out. A walk, an error. I said 1 out. And as Nixon stands in, 2 on, 1 out.
And Todd has a slap hitter, a guy that hits down on the ball, a guy that, you know, can fly. We've seen so many turf hits already off his bat just in these 2 games. And if you get the ball up, it's a sacrifice fly.
Gets away from Pagnazzi. We've got a tie baseball game. Well, the Cardinals aren't getting any help, but quite frankly, they're playing some shabby baseball. We're tied 1-1.
Tony's fit to be tied. There's a breaking ball in the dirt, and there's another one that gets by. Pags usually is so good. The runner, he's out there. He anticipates any time you're going to see that ball in the dirt, if it gets away sufficiently far enough away from the catcher. Let's see if the last one went off the plate. This one went off the dirt. One of the rarest times you don't see Pagnazzi block that ball in the dirt.
Into left field. Mabry's there to make the catch. 2 down. Boy, oh boy, what an inning. Stottlemyre just goes out and pitches. Now he's got Brett Gates. Runner in scoring position is Stoviak. He moved up when that run scored. Gates is 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out. Ball 1. 1-1 our score. Both teams have 3 hits, but the Cardinals have made a couple of errors, and there's a strike. Two and 1. Stahoviak. You look over third base coach's shoulder. Stahoviak's at second base. That one bounces up. 3-1 now to Gates. Matt Lawton's hit the ball hard twice. He's on deck. The 3-1 pitch to the right side. The Shields bobbles it. Everybody safe.
Yesterday, Tom Kelly had his team out doing fundamentals after 4 errors. And here's another catch. And there he didn't reach in. He just dropped it. Third error of the game. And the inning continues. Todd's going to have to pitch around second error of the inning. He pitched around an error in the fourth.
2 errors in his own wild pitch. I presume that's... I didn't see an official ruling on that run score. Another wild pitch. There's a strike. There's the official score. We talked to him before the game. I like his approach, Tommy Sr.
And I remember when baseball, guys can catch the ball.
0-1 pitch. Well, in the honor of the Twins pitcher Milton, I think the Cardinals right now are experiencing one of Dante's levels of hell.
Tony's going through hell.
We're in Dante's Inferno.
All we got to do is get out of this inning, get back on offense. Two and one.
Started in the inning with a walk to Todd Walker. Ground out. Moved him up to second base. Jordan's error in center field, first and third. Wild pitch, another error, and it's first and third, 2 away. Inside, did not go. Full count now to Lawton. Marty Cordova is on deck. Lawton's 0 for 2, his average at 260. Hit a home run last night. McGwire playing behind the runner.
Yep. In a better fielding position.
Tried to go the other way, stays alive. Might have been ball 4, but it was close, and he's going to foul it off.
Got to protect it. Don't want to be sitting there with the bat in your hands. Sometimes you feel for Stottlemyre when he starts a game. Everyone says, "Oh, we got Stottlemyre going," and then it seems like they shut down the offense behind him. They don't score any runs for him, and then now they're not playing defense. But he started it off with a walk.
Popped it up. Shallow center field. Won't be easy. But Jordan comes in and makes the catch. The Cardinals get out of it with only 1 run scoring. Tough game, or tough inning for the Cardinals, and we're tied 1-1.
Midwest.
Take a look at our Discover card playback if you must see it again. That's not the way you make the play, and it's also not the way you make the call. Then the wild pitch. Well, we're reliving this whole inning, are we? Yikes. We're tied 1-1. Cardinals had a bad inning and are fortunate it's only 1 run. Luckily, Stottlemyre didn't give up any hits. Shabby baseball in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Redbirds. Now it's the top of the 6th, tied 1-1, new ball game, and Gary Gaetti will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Hit a double into the corner his last time up. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Line drive over Mears, base hit. Gary Gaetti. Still hitting in the Metrodome.
2 for 3 on the night, and he got robbed in the 1st inning. So now McGwire comes up. Ballpark comes alive again.
Struck out and flied out, just missed in the 4th. How deep is Marty Cordova in left? That's got to be, he's got to be 330 feet, doesn't he? Close to 325.
Okay, he's even further than that.
He's way out there.
He's 330 if he was playing on the line, and it goes out.
That's right.
Probably 380.
As deep as he can get. McGwire's ready, so is Milton. Well, maybe Milton's not ready. He's kind of fidgeting around a little bit.
I think Matt called timeout because of the flash bulbs going off.
Not that it matters when you get into the game, but McGwire had some kind of batting practice here.
You know, McGwire normally just kills left-handed pitching, and this year he's just way down.
Ball 1.
Mac would just have so much of his production with left-handed pitching, and this year he's only hitting .213 with 5 of his 35 home runs against lefties.
Ball 2. Milton staying away from McGwire after the first 2 pitches.
Well, you know, he's very tentative this time. Very tentative in facing McGwire, and he's got a runner at first base.
Way away. He wants no part of the big redhead.
Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. They don't like it.
Challenge him. That's the crowd saying. I don't blame him for staying away from him. Called strike.
Well, a pitcher's mindset should be thrilled to death to have this matchup. You know, the percentages are going to be with you, the pitcher. You're going to retire him, and you can say, hey, I got the best hitter, most prolific home run hitter out.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. See, the crowd loves that. Even though McGwire swung and missed, their guy went after him. They want to see a challenge.
Yeah, and it's just the beauty of baseball, the power hitter against a pitcher.
Can I beat you?
I wrote a song about that, right? A ballad. Casey at the bat. This is not Casey at the bat, it's Mark McGwire.
With all the rain they had last night and expecting tonight, it sure could be Mudville. Here's the pitch. Fouled back, he stays alive. It's like the paparazzi in a feeding frenzy on a movie star. Check the bubs. Like we're at a concert. By the way, bubs, that's bulbs to most of us. Southern Missouri, that's bubs. Not sure you were aware of that.
I didn't know.
Inside, he walked it. Well, the first 2 batters reach, and while fans are disappointed they didn't get to see the big swing and the big pitch for the Cardinals, you've got the league's leading hitter standing in with 2 runners on and nobody out. you've got what could be the makings of a big inning, and you don't mind it at all.
Well, Milton's shown that he can go into a game and usually goes at least 6 innings. But Dick Such, the pitching coach of the Twins, told me, he said a couple times we have found that he'll just be sailing along through 6 innings, and then all of a sudden he loses it real quickly.
The average is right about 100 pitches. Gaetti on at second. Mark McGwire on at first. Jordan's 0 for 2. Called strike, he gets ahead.
There's 50% of the pride of Sanford, North Carolina. The other 50 is Steve Jones.
I did
our
not
good
know
buddy
that.
back in St. Louis.
Gray Eagle.
That's right.
So they split the 100% of pride. That's a ball.
I'm sure there's a few other athletes, but they were 2 pretty good athletes come out of there.
Ball and a strike to Jordan. Cordova deep in left. Straight away in center and right. They know Jordan will spray it around. Way outside. 2-1. Gaetti started it with a single. Then McGwire walked on a 3-2 pitch. Popped it up. Stahoviak gives chase. Will this one get out of play? Just barely. You remember in the 4th, the Cardinals had a runner at third, Al, with 1 out, and Brian popped one just that same way, but it stayed in play that time. This time it got out of play, and Jordan has a life on a 2-2 count.
One of the reasons Brian's leading the league is because he's been striking out infrequently.
Just stayed alive. Almost tied up on that one.
He's also a guy that, one of the few Cardinal hitters that you don't mind seeing with a 2-strike count.
Todd Stottlemyre would like a little edge here.
Todd's focused on what he has to do, but I think he's hoping his teammates will break through this inning.
Gaetti at second. McGwire at first. 2-2 pitch. To the right side. Base hit. Will Gaetti score? Latzman's going to send him. Here's the throw from Lawton. They say, get out. He's safe at the plate. Cardinals lead 2-1. Jordan comes through. Gaetti with terrific base running. If we get a look at that, look at Ray Langford, the next hitter due up, saying, get down. That was a team effort. The base hit. Gaetti running. Latzman sending him. Langford saying, get down, and it all starts right there with the base hit to right.
Well, it goes from the opposite field, so Gaetti can take off. He has to go on the ground ball. And he was really running hard coming around. He made a good turn at third base. Good look right there, and you can see Steinbach tried to kick his leg away, but it was after it reached the base. So he comes right in, feet first, and the catcher will let him have a portion of the plate, and that was all he needed. Right ahead of the throw. Bang, bang play.
Jordan comes through with his 52nd RBI and a swing and a miss. Ray Langford stands in. The Cardinals could do more damage. There's
he got spiked. He got spiked by the catcher down there on the shin area.
Jordan comes through. Still nobody out. McGwire stayed at second base. Jordan's on at first.
And they kept on trying to go in on Brian, and if you can successfully keep on going in there, you'll get him out. But that ball was a little bit out over the middle. He used an inside-out stroke, pushed the ball the opposite field. At the very least, that was going to advance Gaetti, and we got one better. He scored him.
Off-speed pitch. We'll take a look at the slide again of Gaetti and see what got hurt on the leg.
Watch where he comes across, and watch that left leg ends up on the lower leg.
Very good, Al. Yep, you betcha. He got a size 10 on his shin. Swing and a miss. Langford was trying to pull one out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ray Langford.
Boy.
He's flat out and walked.
Gary Gaetti looked like he was drafting. Car ahead of him, but there was no car.
He's getting a new clutch in his race car. He may need a new clutch after that one, after that sprint. Popped it up, straight up. Gates comes in, fair territory. There's the first out of the inning.
Infield fly rule.
Well, Langford couldn't advance the runners, but there's only 1 out.
Ray right now has a long swing. He has a U in his swing, so if you get that ball up, it's going to lock him up. And not exactly what he wanted to do with runner out at second and first and nobody out.
Tom Pagnozzi 0 for 2. He's another guy who could shoot one through the right side, although they're not holding Jordan at all. Trying to defend that situation. In fact, they come way off the line trying to get over into that hole. Stachowiak's well off the foul line. There you see your runners. McGwire at second, Jordan at first, 1 away. Cardinals have regained the lead 2-1. High fly ball, deep left field, way back. It's off the wall. McGwire will score easily. Jordan heads for third. He's safe. A double by Tom Pagnozzi. Drives in a run, and it's 3-1 St. Louis. Pags comes up big. He crushed it.
And they had him defensively played around to hit the ball to right. He messed with that, hitting the ball off the Super America sign. And it was supposed to be further inside. He leaves it out over the plate. The line drive goes off the base of the sign. Cordova gets the ball back in, but McGwire will score, and Brian Jordan got himself to third. That easily allowed Pagnozzi to have the double. And they're going to make a pitching change and bring in Tomberly.
Tomberly's going to come in as the Cardinals have regained the lead. 2 runs in the inning so far. Still only 1 out. Tom Pagnozzi drives in the 3rd run. We'll be back and set you up with the new pitcher. 9 at 10, it's Fox Sports News Prime Time. All the scores, all the stories, all the action from your primetime team. 7 days a week. We are there. Fox Sports News Prime Time after tonight's ball game. Gary Gaetti. Good day for him. He and Mark McGwire were talking about their racing team. Got a big race tomorrow. They finished 4th in today's trials, time trials. He's had a big game, a couple of hits, a run scored. Cardinals are on top 3-1. And Mike Trombley will come in, a 6'2" right-hander. There you see his numbers.
Tell you what, this guy is somebody I like. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Brian Hunter will face him. Breaking pitch misses, ball 1.
Well, when he was in college and he went to Duke University, he established an NCAA record by hitting 20 batters in a season.
You're
tying a single-season game record of 5 twice, including 1 in a 3-inning stint against Georgia Tech.
Your kind of guy. Swing and a miss, strike 1. They say he's got an above-average fastball. According to the scouting report, a wicked curve and a good split finger. He uses the curve on righties and the splitter on lefties.
Right. Fastball kind of gets the attention and everything, and then the breaking ball keeps you off balance.
Brian Jordan at third, Tom Pagnozzi at second. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
And of course he can throw that splitter to a right-handed batter also.
He's 31 years old. Mike Trombley. Hunter gave the Cardinals their first lead with his 4th home run of the year. Base hit here would do a lot more damage. to the right side. That will score a run. They can't throw to the plate. Jordan is safe. Well, he slid right into that bat with kind of a pop-up slide. Glad he didn't turn an ankle. The run scores. Hunter gets his second RBI of the night as Pagnazzi moves up to third, and it's 4-1 St. Louis. Nice at bat by Hunter.
Well, you don't always have to hit a line drive. You don't always have to do something. But if you hit the ball to the right side, and there's no way Todd Walker was going to stop Brian Jordan. Little hit it to the right side. You got a guy as aggressive as Brian Jordan, and with his speed and the way he wants to atone for the mistake last inning, mistake the umpire made.
Now Mabry sends one to left center. Nixon on the run. He makes the catch. Boy, John Mabry put a charge into it, but Otis Nixon got that characteristic good jump and made the play. Cardinals score a pair. Score three, excuse me.
Hey, we've got a lot of Cardinal fans up here, including the Wood Girls. I get in town for a couple minutes, and I find the Wood Girls from Washington, Missouri. Wendy, Sandy, Susan, Patty, and, of course, Mom Ruth. And they want to say hello to Daddy Frank. Hey, Frank. You let the girls come up here again, Frank. When's its Dad's night out? Dad has to work, though.
Stottlemyre back at it. Cordova first pitch swinging. Cardinals on top 4-1 to right field. Hunter had it, lost it, went back and got it.
There was a good example of why you cannot take your eye off the ball. Very difficult to pick a ball up. Brian looking at it, and all of a sudden he misjudged it, regains the flight, and makes the catch. And Bob, this is one of the funnier fields where, because you talked about it earlier, how you always want the outfielders to come charge in on a ball, but in this field here, sometimes it's easier for an infielder backpedaling than that outfielder that's charging, because then he has a tendency to lose the flight of the ball. So it's something where both the infielder has to be alert and has to be very conscious of that. And you keep on staying on it like you should until you're called off.
So both the infielders and the outfielders have to be aware that they might change their approach a little bit at this ballpark.
Yeah, and you notice that from Mabry. He let Ordaz make a catch, where normally, John's the kind of guy that's always going to be taking charge.
That's fouled off. Orlando Merced, 1-2 to him.
And the reason why Delino stayed so far out on a pop-up before Brian Jordan called him off last second. But Delino, was kind of underneath it, or Brian was still running hard and came in on it. And Hunter made that play. There's Delino.
1-2. Just missed 2-2. Merced's 1 for 2. Had a base hit, popped up, hitting 281. Missed outside. 2-2. 3-2, excuse me. I said 2-1 before. The count is 3-2 to Orlando Merced. He popped it up as well. Who wants this one? Back in that Bermuda's Triangle, Luis Ordaz says, I got it. 2 down.
Now that one was Ordaz's ball all the way. But there was something that was really nice about that all the three outfielders converged to the center of the diamond. And now you see Luis looking up there, signaling and telling everybody, I've got it, I'm capped underneath it, and uses 2 hands. Sometimes people wonder if the major leaguers have 2 hands.
Hard hit. Big hop. Ordaz plants. Throw. Got him. 3 up and 3 down. Nothing across. Cardinals and Todd Stottlemyre lead it 4-1. Friends at Auto Tire tell us what's on tap. Well, it's our next Cardinals game on Fox Sports Midwest. The Royals and the Cardinals. Boy, all these postseason opponents revisited. And don't forget, Cardinals tonight, our half-hour pregame show coming up at 6:30. Saw this kid earlier. He was kind of nodding off before. He's deep into REM sleep now. He's out of there. This guy is wired, however. Todd Stottlemyre, another terrific performance through 6. He's been so consistently good, Al. It's very remarkable.
Well, he's just a truly, we use the phrase gamer a lot, but he is truly a gamer. I mean, he's a great competitor, and he goes out there focused. You know, he knows what his job is, and of course, when in the American League with the DH rules were under tonight in interleague play, he can't hit, so he can only pitch. And isn't it nice to see his teammates come back after kind of an ugly inning?
Yep.
Where they've come out here and responded, got 3 more runs for him, break the tie and make it a 4-1 game.
Ball 2 to Luis Ordaz.
A little buckle from Luis on that curveball away.
0 for 2, reached once on a fielder's choice, then he himself was erased on a fielder's choice. Called strike on the outside corner from Tremblay.
You like that, huh? Is that an NCAA record for hit batters in a year?
I do, and I really like the fact that you like it.
Oh, I liked it, man. Against Georgia Tech, he hit 5 one time in 3 innings.
Chop to the left side. Mears gets him easily. Is that Royce Clayton's helmet? Slip right into the guy's spot, take the helmet, but a ground out. The line of the Shields now with 1 away. Fly ball left center field, moving away from Nixon. With big long legs, gets over there easily. 2 down.
It's a good jump on the ball, doesn't it? Tom Kelly. Boy, he's 2 world championships he's managed. He has won more ball games as a manager here of the Twins than any other man. I was looking at it easier, though. Now you see the championships. 97, he was rated the American League's 3rd best manager. 94, he was the 2nd best manager.
Gaetti takes one inside.
92, he was the best manager.
So he's just getting worse.
He's getting worse. Been around a long time. You know, 15+ years managing the big leagues.
It's amazing. Done a terrific job here in Minnesota. There's a called strike to Gaetti, 1-1. Gary's had a big day today.
And of course, he represents, I guess, the faction of umpiring that say you can't be a good player and be a good manager.
Chop to the left side, charging, and no chance. Gates had no chance, and they're going to call that an infield single for Gary Gaetti. Well, you move him into the 2-hole, all of a sudden he's a Judy hitter, slapping him on the ground. I asked him if he was going to do that, and he said, well, I'm going to drive it in runs anyway. I might as well hit 2.
Now they're playing deep, but like he's energized. Boy, he's playing like a youngster. Going to be 40 in August, and he's out here. That was his 3rd hit, and he was robbed by Gates in the 1st inning. The G-Man.
So that was a little payback for getting robbed. He gets the infield single, and now McGwire. This time he's got Tremblay. First time he's faced him. Called strike. Fastball, curve, split finger. How will he try and get Mark McGwire out? 0 for 2 with a walk.
Well, he can hang those curveballs also. Split it.
He's ahead of McGwire. No balls, 2 strikes. Gaetti on it first with 2 away. Just stays alive. Tremblay's got him out in front.
Well, he just changed his speed. That's a splitter, yeah, you know. But he's sitting there, kind of really was accentuating, not overthrowing that ball. There's a curved ball. Here's number 36.
Chop foul. And isn't it interesting? So oftentimes you see guys that'll say, I'm going to really come Powder River to you. They overthrow it and miss or hang it. And you're saying he stays within himself. He's got a better chance probably.
Well, I was thinking more of an aim at that. I think the 2 for him is a splitter. And we'll have to kind of see. Now there is the splitter.
0-2 pitch. 1-2. Normal hitters getting them fishing will work occasionally, not very often with McGwire. Pretty disciplined.
That's why he's become so successful. Is now that, you know, he just doesn't do the things. He'll throw the curved ball.
2-2.
Either it missed that or it didn't do anything.
Steinbach, the catcher. See what he calls for.
Usually a slider, but
got the curve.
It doesn't look like a, you know, more of a slurve. It's not a real tight slider.
Yeah, kind of slings across. Two balls, 2 strikes. Gaetti on at first. Cardinals on top 4-1. Scored 3 in the 6th to regain the lead.
Fastball away.
Number 36 for Mark McGwire.
Look at this, standing ovation.
How about this guy, Mark McGwire? Home run number 36, 86 RBIs. He finally came with the fastball.
Well, and look at, instead of being down and away, he started shifting, came back up the middle a little bit, and he didn't miss it. And of course, that's the difference with a guy. He fouled off a couple tough pitches. He finally gets a pitch, and his drives are so majestic. He hits them so far, so high, so deep. Whew. And to the delight of this crowd.
Jordan takes the ball.
431 feet on the home run here. And McGwire has recorded the longest home run by a right-handed batter or to left field. And he knew it. You know, power hitters know it.
He really crushed it. And a Cardinal fan got the ball.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them here.
How about that?
And
congratulations. Number 36 in what might be a very, very special season. And that young man will have a part of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jordan. Now they wouldn't come to him in the 6th, and then he explodes all over Tremblay. More cushion for Stottlemyre. Yeah, you bet. Now you got a little cushion, 6-1. Jake Crew here in Minnesota has another look at this home run.
He can't get enough good looks. And you just see how the ball just takes off, and you almost wonder, will they go to the roof?
That's right.
Will they hit the roof here? Now these speakers have been hit before.
Popped it up, right side. Fair territory. Who wants it? Now just foul. Stachowiak makes the catch, but not before the big redhead strikes again. Home run number 36. RBI number 86. 6-1 Cardinals. To Walker. Ball 1. McGwire hit number 36. Hope you were with us to see that one. It was a beauty. Up the middle. Luis Ordaz dives from his knees. Backhand, he's out! How about that on both ends? Ordaz from his knees. McGwire with the backhand. And punch him out.
And I think our replay is going to show that he was safe by a mile. Watch this. What a great play. Ordaz, and this is something that this young man, he's got a terrific arm. Throws from his knees. Yes. He's got his head down. Oh, that's what cost him right there when he looked up. Looked to see.
Nothing conclusive on both of those, but what is conclusive when the ump pumps him out of there, and that's what counts. Fly ball center field. Jordan is under it, 2 away. The majesty of number 25 as he hits number 36.
Well, just watch how that ball just jumps and explodes off his bat. 431 feet, but just fraction of a couple seconds to get out. Long, towering fly ball, and just proof you wear a Cardinals shirt, you're going to get home runs.
What a way to sell that Cardinal merchandise.
That's right.
Oh, great pictures.
Mac told me, he said that kid has a shirt up behind, had McGwire in the back. He said, I'm a hitting one.
How about that? That is good. Great pictures from our Minnesota crew in what just might be a record-setting year. Nobody will have pictures on any of the home runs any better than that one right there. Nice job, guys. Stahoviak stands in with 2 down.
There it says McGwire in the back. And if it doesn't, because somebody pulled it off.
I'm so angry. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wonder if they made the trip up here, or maybe just folks from the area that like the Cardinals either way. Can't erase those smiles. I don't blame them. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Stahoviak. Did he go? No, ball.
There was a good reason that bounce, that curveball that bounced there is a good reason why the catchers now have that little metal. Look at, they're taking a picture of the ball. Actually, they're taking a picture of the girl.
20 years from now, somebody say, Dad, why do you have this picture of this baseball? Well, it was McGwire's high fly ball right field. Hunter goes back. This one might get out of here. Wow, upper deck. Stahoviak hit a foul. He got his first hit of the season in the 3rd and his first home run of the year. First RBI of the year. Scott Stahoviak. You talked about his power earlier, Alan. We saw an example right there with an upper deck shot.
Yeah, they've been waiting for a while to see it. And look at it, he got the ball down in his wheelhouse, and he had that lift into the upper deck. Then it bounces back onto the field. There's a bunch of kids up there looking for it in the upper deck. It's not to be found there.
Back around to the top of the order. Cardinals on top 6-2 here in the 7th.
That home run, to give you an idea, upper deck shot in right field was measured at 411. And McGwire's
into the lower deck and left 20 feet further.
20 feet further, just showing the distance, how much further you have to hit a ball out to left than you do in right.
Dixon's 1 for 3.
Todd's thrown 102 pitches and wanted to hold on in 103.
There's a ball. 2-2. Got the best looking note I've ever seen. Ron and Sharon Kessler of Chesterfield are enjoying the Cardinals taking in both games this weekend. They're celebrating Sharon's 50th birthday. Sent us a great note. Hey, swing and a miss, struck him out. So as the Kesslers enjoy this ball game, Stottlemyre strikes him out. Stahoviak hits the home run. We say hi to Brian, Brooke, Dan, David, and Kirk. Cardinals on top 6-2. You know, we were talking about pitches and what you throw to try and get Mark McGwire out, Al.
Okay, fastball away. Now watch the replay of the home run by McGwire. 36. See if he gets it down and away. Now, Steinbeck started to come up. It comes over the middle just slightly within his extension.
Belt high.
431 feet away. Number 36. 86 RBIs. And he isn't even close to Juan Gonzalez in the RBI Major League leadership.
Gonzalez is driving in everything.
I think Gonzalez had 96 coming into today. How about 100 RBIs before this weekend, before June's over?
Dad, why do you have a picture of that baseball? Mark McGwire hit it in his record-setting year. Oh, yeah, right. It's just a baseball. Dad, you just got a baseball there. No, son, I'm telling you, I was there that night. He hit his 36. Yeah, right, okay, Dad. I'm going to go out and play second. Dan Nolte, the new pitcher. 28-year-old right-hander against Ray Langford. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Got a hard slider. They say he's got a nasty forkball. I suppose we shall see that. Maybe that was it there. 1-2.
He's
swing and a miss. Struck him out. So Nolte comes in and gets Ray Langford. Nolte with his first strikeout. Rick Nolte. Out of Los Angeles, California. Excuse me, Dan Nolte, excuse me. Dan Nolte. Already looking at Rick Aguilera. At this rate, we won't see him. Fly ball, right field. And catch is made by Lawton. 2 down. Friday, July 10th, the Cardinals take on the Astros. And guess what? Along with being a big game for the Redbirds, it's Bud Light Beer Bone Glass Night. First 25,000 fans aged 21 and over with a paid admission will receive a 28-ounce replica of a half-yard beer glass called a Bone, courtesy of Bud Light. Friday, July 10th, Cardinals and the Astros. Yeah, keep those peepers clean. We'll see that ball coming in and see where it goes. Willie McGee into the ball game.
What a neat gesture. The pinch hitters, the Cardinals pinch hitters, going to have their annual barbecue, and they're going to honor Willie McGee there.
That is great.
That's coming up on July the 12th out at Grant's Farm.
Pinch hitting for Brian Hunter. Tough play at first. He's out. Stahoviak has had a heck of a game, getting an opportunity to start. 3 up and 3 down, nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Cardinals are on top, 6-2.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Southwestern Bell, go wireless with someone you know. And by Southwest Airlines. The fare so low, you have the freedom to go places. Fly Southwest. Bob Ramsey, Willie McGee will stay in the game and play right field. Big Mac, he's a highlight tonight. You know, they've been averaging about 13,000 fans here a game, and this 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals, there's over 100,000 tickets sold, and you have to say, with so many of them wearing red, an awful lot of them are here to see Mark McGwire.
It sure sounded like it too when he hit the home run. And we saw batting practice. Absolutely. Gates. Strike 1. Well, Stottlemyre well into the hundreds now. That's number of pitches as we get into the bottom of the 8th inning. 6 more outs to go for a complete game.
And you might have to, Tony La Russa might say, well, I'm going to watch him very closely, and if he has a very efficient inning, I'll let him have a shot at the complete game.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I know right now they're saying, I wish he had 20 less pitches.
Yeah. There's a McGwire fan. That one misses. No action in the Cardinal bullpen. Gates is 0 for 3. He reached on an error. Hey, ring him up. Strikeout number 7.
Back set up outside, just paints that outside corner. Strikeout number 7 for the 3rd place leader in the National League in the strikeout department.
Matt Lawton is 0 for 3. He did reach on an error. First 2 times up, he hit the ball hard. Nothing to show for it. His average at 259. It up. Shallow center. The Shields out with Ordaz. Delano backpedals and makes the catch. 2 down.
That's smart. Todd changes speeds. There was a changeup. Straight changeup there. Had him out in front. Got him out.
Well, Marty Cordova can hurt you. 0 for 3. Reached in a fielder's choice.
I know he can't hit a 4-run home run.
He was trying to. Strike 1.
Well, got to have 3 guys on. But it's a reason why for Todd, just go challenge people. Now that you get ahead of the count, then you can expand the strike zone. See, there he drops down. Sidearm gives him a completely different look. Bringing out all the tricks right now. And the slider is the obvious one. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. You're in the driver's seat. Fastball away. Oh, nice try right there.
2-2.
Back to the slider away. 2-2.
Shoots it into right field. McGee shades from the lights and makes the catch. 3 up and 3 down. 4 in a row retired by Stottlemyre as we go to the top of the 9th. 6-2 Redbirds. Our Hoover pickup of the game is the very definition of the baseball term stopper. Stop a losing streak, and that's what Todd Stottlemyre is about to do.
Cardinals have a 4-game losing streak. 8 innings, and he's only allowed 4 hits. 1 run, and that scored on a wild pitch, but it was really tainted with a couple errors in the inning.
Mabry out 3 unassisted. John had a 1 for 4 night. Now Luis Ordaz.
That was one of the few times his teammates have gotten this many runs. Oftentimes, you know, and I think it's we all naturally with 80% of the starting rotation on the disabled list, you sit there and go, Stottlemyre's pitching tonight. Okay, we're gonna win, and everybody relaxes, and yet, oh, poor Todd's out there battling by himself.
Like to see Ordaz get going with the bat. He's already made some nice plays in the field. He did dribble one on the exchange tonight, but he's come back and made a couple of nice plays in the field.
Boy, and to watch him throw.
Ooh, he does have a gun. And it's not that big wind-up kind of throw, Al. You know, you see some guys that have great arms, like a Sean Dunson, really cranks it back. This guy's quick. It looks like his strength is from his shoulder and his chest, and really just strong, quick throw. Base hit, Luis Ordaz. And a way to go for the young shortstop.
Well, you got to remember, you know, we were told that he was just an exceptional defensive player, but he was stinging the ball at 280 plus at AAA. So he's got to have some talent up there. And if he stays within himself, he's got that funny stance, but he does take the bat back in a very short stroke, gets it to his trigger mechanism, and he can build on that. He got a hit in Cleveland, and now another one here tonight.
Well, he takes a big lead down at first base. Ball 1-2 to Shields. Delano's had a tough night tonight. Been fighting a little bit last 3 or 4 games. Called strike.
And the Cardinals have a lot of potential free agents and some great players having great seasons. Delano is a big one. Brian Jordan, Royce Clayton, Gaetti. Right on down the line, but we've got to work on our pitching.
Ordaz gets the biggest lead of anyone I've seen tonight.
And if you look at some of the strengths of the farm system, they're supposed to be middle infielders. I asked Manny Mota a couple years ago, I said, when are the Cardinals going to develop a Dominican player? And he said, they have one in Polanco, who's been
down in Memphis.
Been Ordaz's second baseman for the last couple of years. Well, maybe you have to do certain things to try and see if we can change the direction of this ball club. Tough decisions, you know, but sometimes they have to be made. And who knows, some of these guys may get such lucrative offers that the Cardinals couldn't match them.
Stretches out his lead, does Ordaz. DeShields tries to go the other way and fouls it off. 1-2. Big hole on the right side. Nolte's ready, so is DeShields. The other way, just foul. Ordaz was off with the pitch. He may have scored on that had it been fair. But we'll come back and do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Very close play. Whew. And correctly called foul.
We're going to go back outside. Ordaz not running up the middle. That's a base hit for the line with Shields. Ordaz makes the turn. He streaks over to third. First and third, 1 out. Base hit to Lino.
Delano just missing one down the left field line. Decides to go right back up the middle. That's the second base bag that Ordaz pushes off. I don't know if he ever did pick up his third base coach, but he had the ball in front of him. And when he got about 20 feet from the third base bag, he looked to see what Rene was going to do. Did the outfielder miss it or something? Were he going to send me home?
Or was he just looking to find the bag? Here's Gaetti, who's had a big night back in his old hometown. First and third, ball 1. 3 for 4 tonight, a pair of runs scored. Average back up to 266.
Come back here, you got to think about Bernansky and Herbeck, Kent Herbeck.
They had a nice ball club.
Jack Morris when he came back as a mercenary.
Tired number of Kent Herbeck on the big curtains up here in right center.
The Twins' wives are having an auction outside, and they had a lot of different memorabilia off. And I heard one of the guys downstairs talking about it. He said, you know, Herbeck stuff is so much higher value than Ripken's.
Makes the catch. Sacrifice fly, RBI. Luis Ordaz comes in to score. What a night for Gary Gaetti. And it's with 2 outs, and DeShields on at first. Mark McGwire gets a standing ovation from the Minnesota fans.
Well, I think it's a combination. I think a lot of it's for McGwire, and I think a lot of it is for Gaetti. Gary picked up his 28th RBI. Mack already has his 36th home run, and RBI is 85 and 6.
Time called.
Stachowiak was trying to figure out, what do I do? I got a runner at first base. Well, you play halfway to second.
And that's where he is. The McGwire shift is on. Tremblay will get a chance. Might have been that splitter that came out of his hand funny. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Marks homered and walked. Number 36. The home run. I mean. Swing and a miss. Swung right through it. He's in the hole 0-2.
I've seen so many times when Mark, you know, he'd get behind the count, he'll foul off a couple pitches, stays up there long enough to get a mistake.
Down low, 1-2. McGwire's got 2 RBIs tonight. Hunter has a pair, single RBIs. Gaetti, Jordan, Pagnazzi. Here in the 9th with 2 outs. Just missed. Ooh. McGwire's home run on the 7th was with 2 away.
Fans look at this last delivery and they can't believe it. Cardinal fans are applauding. The Twin fans are saying, oh my gosh, show some guts and ring somebody up.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. DeShields with a huge lead. Fly ball, center field. Is this one going to get out of here? To the wall. Nixon makes the catch. McGwire just missed number 37. The McGwire show continues. It almost hit a speaker in center field. The joy and the sorrow. Budweiser game summary. McGwire's 36. Stottlemyre trying for the win. Gaetti, big night. Brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Spuds for you. Apparently that's what the fans are thinking. It's time to go get their Budweiser because the Big Redhead's done with the Mark McGwire show for this evening. Stottlemyre looking for his 3rd complete game and his 9th win. Merced is 1 for 3. It's about 120 pitches right there, I think. That's usually the mark. You say we got to get Todd out of here. 120. He's hit that mark several times this year. 3-1 to Merced.
Well, this is what you don't want to see him do, is fall behind and start laboring a little bit. He has retired 10 of the last 11 batters he's faced. It's the home run by Stachowiak.
You got that one in there. 3-2.
Merced, a good hitter that's had success against Todd, you know, he's going to make him work a little bit. He'll throw a fastball away.
Up the middle, base hit. Well, that's not the way you wanted the 9th to start, and they're up in the Cardinal bullpen.
But you really like that discipline from Merced. They said, hey, look, I know he's tired. I know he's on the ropes. I'm not afraid to hit with a 2-strike count. And then he simplified it by taking a pitch that was supposed to be out away from him right back up the middle. Jeff Brantley is throwing in the pin.
This is Terry Steinbach. He struck out twice and grounded out.
And Terry's first year over here. Coming back home. 35 home runs, 100 RBIs. It's fallen off since then. But still, he can be a very important part of the puzzle.
Ordaz, DeShield makes the turn, makes it easy. 2 down. Maybe the Cardinals can relax down on the pen. Duncan says, hey, remember that last call? Forget it.
It makes those two relax a little bit, and usually that big play there is a pick-me-up and will sustain Todd right here for the next batter or two.
Young Todd Walker stands in against Stottlemyre. Fouls it off, 0 for 2 with a walk.
Get Painter up now. That was what the call was down there. As we got some, we will have a chance at Walker. And then questionable. But Stahoviak he will not face.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the pitch. Cardinals would like to see the ring up there to put this game away. Stottlemyre locked down number 9 right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's 1 for the road. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cardinals pull back to within a game of the 500 mark. Todd Stottlemyre smiles now with Tom Pagnozzi. He picks up win number 9. Cardinals win it 7-2. McGwire hits number 36. Well, I tell you what, let's take a look at some of the highlights from tonight. What a good ball game after a bit of a slow start, Al. And it started early with Brian Hunter.
It's a home run. Otis Nixon had it in his glove, and then he flashes and it falls out.
Brian Jordan in an inning where it looked like they were going to be coming back, but Jordan comes right back after that inning, drives in Gary Gaetti, who had a big night in front of his old fans. And then, of course, the onslaught continues. The chase of Roger Maris, number 36, in all its majesty. And Todd Stottlemyre wins number 9. We said it earlier, the true definition of a stopper.
Well, 4-game losing streak is now history. A lot of offense, 2 home runs there. BJ's big hit, Gary Gaetti in the middle of a lot of it, but it all starts with that starting pitching. And Stottlemyre was bulldog, gutsy, whatever you want to call it, just a great competitor once again.
Cardinals spread the scoring around. A couple of RBIs from McGwire, 2 more for Brian Hunter as he got a start tonight. Gaetti, Jordan, Pagnozzi, as Tom had a big double in the ball game. Gary Gaetti scored a pair of runs along with the run he drove in, so nice return to Minnesota for him. And now the Cardinals now get back to the 500 mark if they can win tomorrow.
Well, they need to come up here and win. They just need to settle down and relax, but this was a good ball game, and I really liked after that terrible defensive inning how they really came back and scored 3 runs and settled down for Todd.
Final score tonight, 7-2. Cardinals over the Twins. Our next telecast is Tuesday. You've been watching the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. Now we take you to the Fox Network Center for Fox Sports News Primetime.